wanna show you my heart. I want to marry you in home. Yes, it was okay.
Hardcore team deathmatch. You know what we're up against. Keep it tight or we're all through.
What's the sponsor? Okay. I can do you in the counties. Fucking dick. Watch behind you, dude. Okay, where's this fool at? Got him. Look. Oh, he disappeared already. That's gay. Dude, I'm trying to shoot the glass. Watch out, man. He's coming around. Fuck! I'm gonna go over here and blow my teammate. God damn it!
Hostiles released a viewer. Hostile care package above.
Really, dude?
Enemy RCXD's on the hunt.
Get him, boys. Ah. Ah, shit, dude. You fucking freak. Boy, quit being a fag, man. Watch out, you fucking dickhead. Grinch, I'm about to fuck you. Right where you breathe, boy.
Hostile UAV established above.
That fucking Grinch is dead. God damn it, I was gonna tomahawk that fucker. On my way back here. Why this fucking jerk off keep... cocksucker?
We're down, but not out, Black Ops. Time to get clever. Enemy UAV detected. You are incoming. Prep for exfil. Gotta clear losses.
Oh, Grinch left because he's a cocksucker. Excuse me. Excuse me. Ugh. Ugh. What happened to my fucking... How much did it cost to beat it, says?
Star Wars fever had reached new peaks, with the original trilogy being re-released in theaters with bonus scenes, and the prequel trilogy on the horizon. Sega jumped at the opportunity to create a fully immersive 3D rail shooter that let fans relive the franchise's most iconic moments. What's up, Nerf herders, and welcome back to another episode of Arcade Economy, the series where we take a look at old arcade classics to determine just how much they cost to beat and how fair they were to our wallets. Last time on Arcade Economy, we entered Outworld to go up against Shao Kahn in Mortal Kombat 2. Today, we are traveling to a galaxy far, far away to join the rebels in Star Wars Trilogy Arcade. Was this game a fair test of your Jedi reflexes, Or was the Galactic Empire designed to strike back at your bank account? Let's find out.
Got the lead. Lead's ours. Stay on task.
Let's flash back to 1997. The Star Wars Special Editions hit theaters, bringing the original films back to the big screen and sparking a massive resurgence of Star Wars mania worldwide. Sega, who had previously released a Star Wars arcade game back in 1993, saw the perfect opportunity to capitalize on this renewed hype with something far more ambitious. Sega handed the reins to their AM Annex development division. The team was headed up by visionary director Kenji Sasaki, who was coming off of the success of directing Sega Rally Championship. Under Sasaki's leadership, the team set out to create a cinematic rail shooter that could faithfully replicate the blockbuster scale of the first 3 Star Wars movies. The decision was made to build the game on the Sega Model 3 arcade board. The Model 3 was capable of pushing a staggering amount of polygons and delivering smooth, high-resolution 3D environments that simply weren't possible on home consoles yet. And I mean, yeah, rightfully so. Just looking at this game today, and it still holds up incredibly well nearly 3 decades later. Star Wars Trilogy arcade game received glowing reviews from critics, and while I have seen and played this many times in the wild, I have heard that it is a bit of a rarity, which, if true, is a real shame, because this game is a fantastic arcade game. And if it's any indication of foreshadowing in this video, this game was one of the few arcade games that I beat regularly in my youth. By the time Star Wars Trilogy had hit arcades, the franchise already had its fair share of arcade games. Atari laid the foundation with the original Star Wars arcade back in 1983. This used colorful vector graphics to put players right into the Death Star trench run. I know this looks a little dated by today's standards, but back in the day, this was top-notch stuff. Plus, the cockpit-shaped cabinet would go on to become iconic. This game was followed up by Return of the Jedi in 1984, which switched things up with an isometric approach, and then The Empire Strikes Back in 1985, which returned to the wireframe vector style as an arcade conversion kit. Fast forward nearly a decade, and Sega secured the license, dropping Star Wars Arcade in 1993 on their Model 1-4. Now, you would think a 3D polygon Star Wars shooter would be a massive hit, but it wasn't. At least, not in the States. It saw a super limited release, with reportedly only about a dozen English cabinets ever making its way to the US. Despite being extremely rare in the wild, it did receive an exclusive home port as a launch title for the ill-fated Sega 32X. Then, after Star Wars Trilogy Arcade hit the scene in '98, Sega released Star Wars Racer Arcade in 2000 to capitalize on the Phantom Menace hype. And years later, Bandai Namco would get in on Star Wars Arcade action with 2014's massive Star Wars Battle Pod. This is often referenced as a remake of the original Star Wars Trilogy Arcade, since you play through the same piloting missions on Yavin, Hoth, Endor, and the Death Star finale. The game also added an extra mission, Vader's Revenge, where you get to play as Darth Vader after the Death Star's explosion from the first film. It's a game that looks incredible, and unfortunately, I have never had the opportunity to play it, but if I do see it in the wild, you bet your ass I'm spending money on it. The storyline from the game follows the narrative from the original trilogy of Star Wars movies, taking place in 4, or I guess technically 6, of the most iconic scenes. These include the Yavin 4 space fight, the ice planet Hoth, the forest moon of Endor, and the epic space battle conclusion above Endor. Sega released this game in 2 main variations, a standard upright cabinet and a massive deluxe sit-down hub, the latter being the one that I am more familiar with. It featured a colossal 50-inch rear projection monitor and a 3-channel surround system with a subwoofer built right into the seat. Sitting down in this baby made it feel like you were strapping into a real X-Wing. That'd be nice. And Monopoly Go, like a dream. Make it go. Ridiculous riches. Monopoly Go. Download now. Sweet. Once players drop in their coin, they're tasked to choose one of 3 missions, each representing a Star Wars film. Each mission is split into 3 sections. You can play these in any order as you see fit. The game is a fairly straightforward on-rail shooter, meaning you mostly don't have control over your movements. Mostly. The game automatically guides you through the cinematic environments while you focus entirely on aiming your crosshair. You control the action by using the cabinet's analog flight stick. Pulling the main trigger will fire your shots. You can also hold this down to fire a continuous stream of lasers, but you will get rewarded more points by landing every shot. Now, while the core mechanics stay the same throughout, the game does split the action between piloting iconic vehicles and running and gunning on foot, and each handles just a little bit differently. Yavin's missions are solely set in the space dogfight from the ending of the first movie. The first section sees you taking out hordes of TIE fighters as you approach the Death Star. The second section sees you flying over the surface of the Death Star to take out turret guns and battle with Vader's TIE fighter. And the third and final section is the iconic trench run where you have to fire your proton torpedoes into the Death Star's ventilation shaft, resulting in its destruction. The Hoth mission changes up the gameplay a bit. Section 1 is more of the same from the first mission, except this time you're flying around in a snowspeeder, helping your allies take down AT-ATs and AT-STs. Section 2 sees the player enter Echo Base on foot to take out snowtroopers and Wampas. The third section is a dash for the Millennium Falcon through the Echo Base hangar. You'll have to take out more enemies here before coming face to face with a Wampa in the way. The best way to deal with him is to just unload on his head. Now, while I do find the Hoth level to be the easiest level, there's just something about this setting and aesthetic.
Hold up, man. How'd you get that, Dave Chappelle? That's pretty sweet.
The first section of the Endor mission is the only level where you control some of your movement. This section kicks off on the speeder bikes, where you'll have to take out stormtroopers while weaving in and out of giant trees. Section 2 is another on-foot level as you make your way towards the shield generator. Section 3 is this level's boss fight. You'll come face to face with an AT-ST. Not really too much strategy here, just try to keep shooting and focus on the highlighted areas when they pop up. When playing the sections on foot, your blaster will have a temperature meter that can overheat if you're firing too rapidly. You'll also get a stacked bonus for each hit you land without missing a shot. So really, it's best to patiently line up your shots on these missions. For all missions, there's also an event button that lights up during certain points, and pressing this will cause allies to assist you in combat. What really sets this arcade cabinet apart is the bonus stages. After beating 2 missions, you'll ditch the blaster and ignite